there's an insider, good friend of mine. We've been chatting, and he sent me a message and told me that ODM will never recover from this. That's what he said. This is a guy who has been inside in the interwebs.
This attack, the public perception. What do you think was expected with those who planned the attacks, and what ended up being the public perception after the attacks were executed? Mike.
I think you pointed it out. I think the perception and the intention was to make it look like Morara is the
cause of friction.
The cause of friction.
Now, this attack, the public perception. What do you think was expected with those who planned the attacks, and what ended up being the public perception after the attacks were executed? Mike.
I think you pointed it out. I think the perception and the intention was to make it look like Morara is the
cause of friction.
The cause of friction. And there's an insider, good friend of mine. We've been chatting, and he sent me a message and told me that ODM will never recover from this. That's what he said. This is a guy who has been inside in the interwebs. And
I think minajua ni nani.
See you.
Yeah.
So the fact that and I was gonna disagree with, I think what's his name over here? Somebody had mentioned that Morara made a mistake in mentioning that he was going. It's public participation. It doesn't matter. You go. It doesn't matter.
So then now I have to restrict.
Even if you would have gone without saying, it clearly shows for goons to be there, they're expecting something.
There's an agenda.
There's an agenda. So it doesn't, whether he mentioned
so hiyo walikuwa wanajua angesema hangesema, I'm sure there were people who wangeenda hapo walikuwa wanaenda kupigwa.
And maybe they had a list of if this then that.
Ukiona hii
Boni angeenda, Anifa angeenda.
And you know in Gunari, like I have, I've never been a goon, but I have some experience with Gunari. There's usually a commander. And that commander, nowadays kuna cell phones. Zamani commander had to get instructions physically from some, but in this day and age of cell phones, there's a commander and there's coordination. So everybody knows the signal.
Group chat.
Yeah, when the first chair is thrown, ameonekana, identified, be ready. When the first chair is thrown, all of you come. And when all of you are prepared, even the people who are protecting Morara, they are not prepared for that, and they're coming from all directions. But anyway, Mike, sorry we cut you short.
No, I was gonna say, ideally, what they did was, the intention was to make it look like Morara is the bad guy.
Yeah.
Whether he mentioned it or not, and Morara is a disruptor. In a sense, yes, he's a disruptor, but he's a disruptor for the good. All that should have happened was he comes in, he does his presentation, because here's the thing: Samuel, whatever his name is, was not accorded the same violence, and was not received the same way.
He had some protection.
He had protection. He was not received the same way as Morara.
No.
Yet he has been the guy who has been fighting. If you recall, there's a time he ran into was it Nation House? Running away from GSU, from Fanyafujo guys or whatever. So this was definitely targeted, and on top of it being targeted, what it ended up being was that they ended up looking bad, because now it was identified as, like Mika said, ODM goons had come, and now the picture that has been painted is that you're not going to disrupt us. You're not going. We're going to protect this guy no matter what. We're going to protect Ruto and Gachagua. We're going to protect this government. It doesn't matter what bad thing that they do. But I think from after he left, and you guys probably watched the clips that followed thereafter, and some of the comments that were being made by some of the participants, walikuwa nasema nini? Wote wawili waende.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think the most unexpected part with all this public participation was this to turn to Ruto must go.
Yes.
I think they're trying to distract people on Gachagua and distract it from the president. But I think there was no expectation. Even for me personally, I never expected it. And it was in all places because, the different media houses were showing Kakamega, Baringo, Isiolo, like everywhere.
Eldoret,
Everywhere.
Kericho,
Yes, it
Nandi.
was Ruto must go.
You know the only people who are unanimous on Gachagua going?
Is it
Northeastern.
Wapi? Northeastern. Yeah.
Northeastern.
Now Northeastern, there's a problem. There's a problem in Northeastern which I think needs to be solved. However, Northeastern, they usually have a certain special relationship with Kenyan politics, but I think eventually they will also get
Northeastern, I think Bora Duale yuko sawa wako sawa.
Yes, and I think also Northeastern has benefited a lot from Ruto's government in terms of appointments and a lot of like other issues. So
facilities,
yes,
all sorts of different things opening up business-wise.
Yes. So I don't even know where the mind of Gen Z Northeasterners are. I've not quite been able to decipher that, but I think eventually they will also get on board because
Itabidi wati.
Yeah, because they are also suffering wherever
Yes.
they are. Their leaders are also like looting and stealing from them, and I think they're also affected by clanism politics there.
Yeah,
which is
that's what I
more
say.
deadly.
The clan
That's
is
the one.
Yeah.
The clan. I had somebody mention that.
Yeah, because the clan is. You remember when Anifa first started coming out, she used to point out on issues of sexual abuse that was happening back in Northeastern, and which way did they try to get to her? They tried to get to her through family, through clan, sending people to talk to her. But they got to a point whereby they threatened that they are going to expel her father from the mosque and her family from going from the mosque because of that. So there's that thing whereby they victimize you when you point out some stuff, and I guess that's what most of them are scared about, or that's what's holding a lot of people back. But at some point, Punda uchoka. Punda imechoka. Punda, nani alijua Punda itaichoka Eldoret?
Yeah, and
Punda itaichoka kwa kina Nandi huko ama wapi? Punda uchoka.
yeah,
So hiyo pia itachoka tu.
yeah, ananichokoza hapa ananiambia ati Ali confess you are a goon for a certain sultan. Me, I did not say I was a goon. I said I understand the science of goonery. I understand it. When you observe, you understand something. And by
the way, Washeka, that might also mean that he may not have been in the gunnery whatever, but he may have facilitated and demarcated.
I was around the area when that gunnery was happening.
Giving
but,
orders over.
Washeke also says it was a state-sponsored mandamano, no tear gas, no bullets, no bloodshed. Today was one of the best days of the movement. And then Evans Marube says DPP, DCI, ESCC heads in Duale, heads and Duale once defense cabinet are from Northeastern. So I think Evans is just giving the seats that were given to Northeastern. Mike, you're asking something as Omosh is looking through YouTube. Omosh is going to read the YouTube
No, I was going to
comments.
ask the same question you're asking us. What about you? What was your thought?
My thought about
the same question that you asked us. With Morara going in, how he was received, your position, your stand.
First of all, this week we're preparing to interview Morara.
Correct.
That's what we'll be preparing for all week.
Yes.
So this was a surprise to me.
Yeah.
When I woke up in the morning, na cheki group, and then Mika anasema, wamemvamia Morara.
Wamevamia president.
So me, the first thing, I contacted Morara's personal assistant because Morara is very busy. You cannot just reach him. So I asked him, is senior okay? No, na ameshambuliwa hapa. Anasema hapana usijali, he's been rushed to hospital. And then, she told me that we'll let you know about the interview. And then later on, she told me that we cannot do the interview for understandable reasons.
Kabisa, totally.
Yeah, for understandable reasons, quite fair. And yeah, to me, I was surprised. I thought this was just going to be another mundane public participation exercise. I did not see it descending to Ruto must go. I did not see it descending to paid goons attacking activists.
100.
I did not see this coming at all. My thinking was they will do the public participation to check the box because right now these laws are not good because of jurisprudence from the Supreme Court. So I thought they're going to do this to check the boxes. It's just going to be another exercise in futility. And then come next week, Tuesday, they will go through the motions, impeach Gachagua, and maisha tu iendelee. But surprise, surprise, gunari, attacks on Morara. I never saw this coming. What this shows is that the intelligence has clearly identified Morara Kibaso as the most likely,
Credible
threat to Ruto's presidency. I think that's why they targeted him, because the other activists, Kikinaka Samuel, they were not attacked. They were
activists.
Yeah. Okay, you know, like whatever name they give, but he wasn't
received as Morara was received.
He wasn't received as Morara was received. Yes.